Hello, friends of One-anotherness. Once again, wherever you are, greetings to all of you as we begin our presentation for today. I am glad once again you were able to tune in to our live Facebook video. Thank you very much for your time that you want to spend with me. I value it so much. Let's do some testing just to check whether you are able to follow me out there. My dear friends, if you are able to hear me, just press the like button. Just press the like button if you are able to hear me. Thank you very much. If you can see me also, I will appreciate if you can press the heart button. I just want to see whether you are live and we are together as an international family with friends drawn all over the globe. I thank you very much. For today, as we are just continuing with our testing, I understand the challenges that you may be facing out there. I know the crisis is hitting hard on each one of us, but I just want to let you know that God is still in control, is in charge of our families, is in charge of our homes, and is in charge of our countries. And there is nothing that escapes his eye. He is a living God and is there for each one of us. I can see you are coming through. I can see you are getting through. Yes. Come on board, my dear friends, overseas, within our continent, our Africa. Come through and so that we are able to follow each other well. Just continue to do some testing. Yes. You can see me clearly. If you can see me clearly, I will appreciate you again. Pressing the like button once again. And also, if you can hear my voice clearly, you can also press the like button. Yes. Just want to see whether you are connecting well out there and you are able to follow us well. I appreciate. Yes, I can see several of you coming through. Yes. I can see Priscilla there. Yes. Hi, Sister Priscilla. Once again, thank you very much for connecting. I can see Sister Norma. I can see my beloved Elder Zinyemba, right there in Victoria Falls. This is great. May God bless you as we go through our exciting presentation for today. For today, I have a wonderful presentation, and I hope you will enjoy it. I hope you will enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the presentation that we have today. Just trying to make sure we are all set and there are no challenges as we begin. Just trying to see whether there are no challenges. Just bear with us as we work on one or two things here as a way of making sure we are moving together. Thank you very much. Our talk today, an interesting one. We are looking at letter D. Letter D. As we are looking at letter D, we looked at the first letters. As we continue with our interesting presentation, one-anotherness in action. We did indicate that as we go through one-anotherness in action, demonstrating one-anotherness in action, we want to demonstrate now through our alphabet. I took you through the first three alphabet and just a flashback. A, accept one another as God has accepted each one of us. And our letter B, bear with each other, particularly during this crisis where we are locked. We just have to be sympathetic and empathetic with each other as we go through this experience, which I hope and trust we will be out of it very soon. We have a great God who is above any human challenges and any human events that affects us. Yeah, I hope I'm clear enough. I hope I'm clear enough. Yes, if you can see me once again. Yeah, I can see the position now of my gadget here. I've been just trying to check whether my position of my gadget is well positioned so that you can see your pastor, your beloved friend. We are a family. We are together as God's children. Let me take you through letter D, which is our focus of study today. As I take you through letter D, just a preamble of letter D. Letter D is a letter of Phoenician Semitical of origin. Phoenician Semitical of origin. Letter D is the fourth letter in the Greek alphabet, and it is known as a delta in the Greek alphabet, and it takes position number 4. In the Hebrew alphabet, with 22 letters, letter D, again, it is interesting to note, not by default, but by origin, it takes the same position, position 4. And in Hebrew, it is known as Daleth. In the Roman alphabet and our modern English alphabet, with the 26 letters in the English order of our alphabet, it is interesting again to note, my dear friends, letter D takes the same position, position number 4. An interesting scenario of the order of this letter. In the Greek alphabet, it takes position 4. In the Hebrew alphabet, it takes position 4. In the Roman, which is the English order of alphabet, still it is position 4. You may need to note that the letter D, from the Phoenician origin, where it comes from, it represents a door. And today, my dear friends, I want you to apply this letter. During my presentation, after my presentation, and I want you to apply it in a positive sense because it represents a door, suggesting that this letter, as we have it, there are many doors that may appear closed for you, financially, physically, spiritually, but with the letter D, you have a door. And what is the purpose of a door? A door suggests opportunities, because a door is standing wide open for you. And the letter D represents a door. Think of the many doors that you may need to knock, and informed by letter D, let those doors, in the name of Jesus, open for you. And before I unpack more on how letter D demonstrate how we can act one-anotherness in our families, one-anotherness in our communities, one-anotherness in our countries, I have a small quiz for you, my friends, today. And I want to take you through that small quiz, and I want you to participate in that small quiz that I have for you. My first question in this quiz goes like this, a very interesting one. What are some nice D words that you know? What are some nice D words that you know? And at this moment, I have a special guest with me today, and I want him to open the floor. My special guest, can you come forward and open the floor and tell us more? Tell us more about letter D. Tell us more about letter D. My special guest, you can stand here. Tell us more about letter D. That's okay, go ahead.
My name is Zolil. I'm going to present letter D.
Okay, my special guest. This side, stand well.
My name is Zolile. I'm going to present letter D. A dolphin. A dolphin is an animal that lives in the water. Its color is black and white. It sounds like woo.
Thank you very much, my guest. That was my guest, Zolile, taking us through letter D. Remember, we still have the same question that may require your involvement. What are some nice D words that you may apply to members of your family? I am looking forward to hear someone also come through and tell us something about letter D. Some nice D words. And while you are thinking on that, my next question on letter D, how do you describe someone with the letter D? How will you describe someone with the letter D? How will you describe someone with the letter D? Remember, this is a quiz. Don't share your answers. Keep them to yourself, because at the end of the day, I will give you the results of your quiz, if time will allow. Another interesting question that I have here for your quiz: what is a color? What is a color that starts with D? What is a color that starts with D? Another question: what is the longest D word that you know? What is the longest D word that you know, that you have used in life? What is the longest D word that you know? The last question: what country? You know, countries are bombarded with the coronavirus now, struggling with coronavirus now. What country starts with the letter D? Okay, Sister Priscilla there. I have Sister Priscilla here there. Sister Priscilla has given me Priscilla Bongimlojwa Pepe. Thank you very much, Sister Priscilla. The word that begins with the D, that he speaks to her well, dearest. Dearest. And I have Sister Tazani Bebe. And Tazani Bebe, I think she mentioned the word dear. Or Tazani Bebe is given dear. Dear. Elders Nyemba, a very interesting one. In fact, Elders Nyemba is dead, Zinyemba, to two beautiful gifts that God gave to him. His work there that he has given to us is dead. Dead. And then Sister Salinomsa Lana, the country that begins with D, Denmark. And then we have Stole, darling. You are a darling brother, darling. Thank you very much, Stole. And then another country there, Dhaka. Another interesting word from Nkomo, Kumalo, dedicated. Yes, we must be dedicated to God. We must be dedicated to God. And then I can see Dubai. I can see Bella. Bella, my dearest sister Bella, Dorothy, divine. Yes, divine service. We have just come out of divine service. Thank you so much. Divine. We have Dominic Republic. Dominican Republic. I think this one is a country. Remember the questions. Also color. I would appreciate also someone who can also speak about color. Divine, that one, I think already it has been taken. Anything from color. And I think someone has given us a description of someone with the letter D, where he said dedicated. What about color? I'm looking for someone who can respond to the word that starts with D in reference to a color. Anyone who can take us through that? The longest word that begins with D also. All right. Thank you very much. Maybe while we are working on that, divine service, I can see divine service again from Dorothy there. Yes, we have just come out of divine service, Sister Dorothy. Thank you very much for that. Yes. Longest word that begins with D. Disappointment. Disappointment. We are going through our major disappointment as a result of Corona. But cheer up, children of God. He has conquered. We have a conquering God who has been conquering from the past and will also conquer for us even in the future. A very interesting word that describes color, dark blue. Dark blue. From Sister Priscilla, dark blue. Blue. Thank you very much. Dark blue. Dark blue. Thank you very much. Hey, that one, I can't follow it well. Thank you very much. That one, I can't follow it well. The word there. Dandelion. Tavani Kumalo. Dandelion. I hope I pronounced your word very well. Dandelion. That's an interesting color. I can see Alex Mbele. Michelle. Thank you very much. Welcome, my brother. God bless you. All right. I think you are bright students. 10 over 10. Excellent. This is great. God bless you. Now, our focus today is on D. We begin with a thought as we demonstrate one-anotherness in action. Here is a wonderful thought that I have for you, that I want you to reflect on and think about it as you appreciate letter D. Here is the thought. It goes as follows. People are lonely because they build walls instead of bridges. People are lonely because they build walls instead of bridges. This is according to Joseph F. Newton. The understanding from this thought, as we try to link it with D, is that we have to build bridges. Bridges allow us to interact. Bridges allow us to connect. Bridges allow us to relate. Whereas walls deny us access to one another. They keep us away from each other. The Judah walls, I thank God that it is God's intention that since He calls for each one of us to love one another, hence, let's come up with ways to demolish the walls that are keeping us apart from one another. In our families, in our churches, in our communities, we were created to connect. We were created to live together. We were created to accommodate each other. Let us bridge. Let us build bridges. Because a bridge allows you to move to a friend, allows you to have a friend come over to you. In fact, the bridge that I've built for you, our international community, is the one-anotherness family. The idea behind this family, we are trying to collapse some walls that have existed around us. Walls of tribalism, walls of racism, walls of classism. We need to be together. One-anotherness says, I need you. I can't do without you. Because I need you. Today, letter D says, do not speak evil of one another. Letter D says to you, viewers out there, my wonderful friends out there, do not speak evil of one another. This is according to James 4, verse 11. So letter D says, keep your tongue from evil. Keep your lips from speaking deceit. Do not be red your gogo. Do not spread fake news about people. Particularly during this crisis, people will appreciate messages of hope rather than messages of fear, rather than messages of threat. Do not speak evil of one another. Do not spread messages that threaten people, messages that bring fear to a point where people will fail even to sleep. Keep your tongue from evil. Keep your lips from speaking deceit. When you do that, my friend, the eyes of the Lord shall be upon you. And when the eyes of the Lord shall be upon you, because you have kept your tongue from speaking evil, because you have kept your tongue from speaking deceit, because you have kept your tongue from character assassinating other people, the eyes of Jehovah will be upon you. Do you desire the eyes of God to be upon you? Do you desire God to watch over you? Keep your tongue from deceit. Keep your tongue from speaking evil, and then the eyes of Jehovah will be upon you. The ears of God shall be open when you pray. I refer you to Psalm 34, verse 15. David says, when we keep our lips from speaking deceit, when we keep our lips from speaking evil, the eyes of Jehovah shall be upon us. I desire the eyes of God to be upon my family. I think that's your desire, that the eyes of God must be upon your family. The eyes of God must be upon your business. The eyes of God must be upon your children. The eyes of God must be upon your parents. How can you have the eyes of God be upon you? Do not speak evil of one another. Not only the eyes of God shall be upon you, but his ears too shall be opened when you pray. In light of that, I have an interesting subject matter that is linked to the letter D with the command, do not speak evil of one another. I want to talk about loving communication. Since each one of us, 24/7, one way or the other, when we are at work, we talk. I want to suggest to each one of us, I want to submit to each one of us, let us embrace what I call loving communication. Through loving communication, we will be in a position to build bridges. We will be in a position to build bridges instead of building walls. It's only through a loving communication where bridges can be built. Now, let me unpack what I mean by loving communication. In Colossians 4, verse 6, Paul says, let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how you ought to answer each other. Let your speech always be seasoned with grace, seasoned with salt, so that you will know how you ought to answer. As I take you through loving communication, because each one of us, we desire to communicate. Each one of us, we communicate to our friends like I'm communicating to you now. We have been communicating during divine service. We have been communicating during the Sabbath school. We have been communicating during the week. We communicate with the members of our family. Hence today, I want to teach you about loving communication. Not just communication, but loving communication. Remember, we were created and God desires that we love one another. And part of loving one another, we need to improve on our communication. And by our improvement of our communication, I suggest to each one of us, let's embrace what I call loving communication, not just communication. There are 4 aspects of loving communication. Number 1, wise talking. One of the beautiful way of communicating, which I call loving communication, is wise talking. Isaiah 50 verse 4 says, Jesus Christ knew how to speak a word in season to him that is weary. People today are weary. They are tired of the lockdown experience. We are all tired, both old and the young. We are tired. We just want to go out. We are tired. We are weary because we are living with the members of our family that are tired because of this lockdown experience. It suggests that we need to know how to speak a word to these members of our family who are tired. And how do we speak? We need to speak a wise word. By a wise word, I want us to learn something about Jesus. Jesus spoke nice and kind words to those that were listening to him. Members of our family are listening to us as we talk. It can be a spouse listening to you to talk. It can be a child listening to you to talk. Just speak nice and politely. According to one author by the name Ellen White says, commenting on Christ's loving communication, he says, he, Jesus, was never rude, never needless, spoke a severe word, never gave a needless pain to a sensitive soul. Our people today are very rude. In our families, some members of our families are very rude. They don't know how to talk. As they speak, it's just rudeness. They are very rude. Some of our spouses are very rude. They don't know how to talk. Let us learn from Jesus. Let us not be rude as we speak. Let us not speak a word that censures a member of a family. Let us be considerate of each other's feelings. As you open your mouth, make sure those words that are going to come from your mouth will give hope. As you open your mouth, make sure those words that you speak will encourage a weary soul. Don't be rude. Be sensitive to people's feelings. Be sensitive to people's emotions. Speak nice. Don't shout to people. Don't shout to people. Don't be a public system gadget. Don't be a public system gadget. Don't shout. Speak nice, politely. Don't harass people. Don't be harsh. Be sensitive to members of your family. They are already enduring the lockdown. So let your words encourage them. Another aspect of loving communication I like this point, and I like this aspect. Active listening. Active listening. Active listening. Yes, I can see you are following. A lot of amens here. Active listening. What do I mean by active listening? Listen to what God says as we demonstrate one another in action. Remember, Jesus says, do not speak evil of one another. James 1 verse 19 says, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Let every man, let every woman, let every brother, let every sister, let every pastor, let every parent, let every child, let every prime minister, let every king, let every human being be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. My dear friends, God gave us 2 ears so that we are swift to hear. And they gave us 1 mouth that we are slow to speak. What does that mean? We are to listen more because we have 2 ears. And they speak less because we have 1 mouth. Some people speak. When you go to bed, they are speaking. When you are in the living room, they are speaking. When you are in the kitchen, they are speaking. As you take a walk, they are speaking. They speak, and they speak, and they speak. I want to challenge you. You out there who are talking so much, speak less. You have 1 mouth, and listen more. Speak less and hear more. As we go through the crisis, people will appreciate to be listened to. Let us listen to our children as they speak to us as parents. Let us listen. When I grew up, my mother taught me this song. It goes like this. Togo togo vuka, togo togo geza, togo togo hamba esikolo, togo togo funda, togo togo lalela qaphelisa togo. Lalela qaphelisa togo. I like the listening aspect in this song. The listening aspect suggests that if we are to succeed in life, there must be much listening. As people are going through a lot of challenges, they will appreciate a parent that listens so much. They will appreciate a wife that listens. They will appreciate a husband that listens. They will appreciate a pastor that listens. They will appreciate a brother that listens. They will appreciate a father that listens. The song that I sang for you, it says, Togo, wake up, dress up, go to school. When you get to school, Togo, listen so much as the teacher teaches you. Listen with your 2 ears. Don't talk too much when you are at school. That is what the song says. Hence, people desire to be listened to. Let us listen even to those that work for us. There are people that are working for us and they are doing wonders. But in most cases, we talk too much. We don't listen to them as they want to express their feelings to us, as they want to express their concerns. Some of you are professors. Because you are a professor, students will love a professor that listens. Some of you are pastors that are listening to me as I speak now. Members will love a pastor that don't talk too much, but a pastor that listens. Some of us, we are also in positions of authority. If we are to make a breakthrough in our positions of authority, those that are our subjects will appreciate when we listen to them. Let us listen. Let us listen. God loves to be listened to. How do we listen to God? I will also take you through how do we listen to God. The reason why He gave us 2 ears, He wants us to develop a culture of listening. Listening is an art. Let us listen so that we will avoid a lot of conflicts. A lot of conflicts that are arising in our homes are a result of people who talk too much and they do not give an ear. They will talk, they will never listen. Let us develop an art of listening. Your wife desire to have you sit down and listen to her. Let us listen to those that are around us. They have something of concern and they will appreciate when we listen to them and when we take whatever they are sharing with us serious. Based on this aspect of active listening, one author by the name Rush in 2002 did a study, and these are the results of his study in reference to listening, active listening. Rush says 55% of whatever is said when we talk is body language or action. 38% tone of voice and 7% words spoken. If you look at this analysis by this author, you discover that 7% are spoken words, suggesting that even if we speak so much and we speak wire, we speak wire, that does not mean we are being heard. We are just speaking continuously, but we are saying nothing. But what really matters when we communicate is the body language. That provides 55%, as well as the tone of the voice that provides 38%. Suggesting that as we speak, part of our way of speaking, let's develop a way of appreciating our tone. Let us manage our tone. Our tone is critical. You may say the word, I love you, to your wife, but the tone that you have used, in your speaking, you have used the word love, but the tone is of concern to the wife. So the tone must be nice, and that will attract the wife to listen to you. Let us be very careful with our tone, because with the tone, you can injure a soul. With the tone, you can injure someone's feeling. So mind and manage your tone. That's why I said, don't shout. Speak soft and gently. Body language and action contribute. Let us be serious about our body language. because they also contribute to our communication, our loving communication. Allow me to say, based on this study, for loving communication to take place, dear listeners at home, train yourself to listen for ideas. Train yourself to listen to ideas. Train yourself to listen to feelings that are being communicated behind the words. What does that mean? Listen to understand. Train yourself to listen to ideas. Train yourself to listen to feelings. People have feelings. You may have a point, but how you have pushed your point, I'm not happy with it. You have injured me. You have harassed me. You have tortured me. So please, train yourself to listen to my feelings as you communicate. The moment you are talking to me, you see me changing my face, you see me changing my position of sitting, it suggests that I have switched you off. I've switched you off because you are harassing me. You are torturing me the way you are talking to me. Learn to talk to me nice. Be polite. Even when you pick a phone, when you respond, please respond politely. Don't shout to the caller. Don't bang the phone. Don't shout to your wife. Don't shout to your children. My dear pastors, we are preachers. Let us not shout to our church members. Let us speak nice. My dear elders, let us not shout to members of our families. Let us not shout to our churches. People have the authority to switch you off when you shout at them. Speak nice. Even when you are taking people through a prophetic message, don't use that prophetic message to threaten people. Don't bring fear, but use that prophetic message and bring hope. Because Jesus is a hopeful Savior. He's not a hopeless Savior. So in our communication, let us speak softly and gently so that people will appreciate. As I take you to aspect number 3, there are 4 of them. Number 3 says, for loving communication to be productive, we are all communicating, either as a husband, either as a wife, either as a pastor, either as a supervisor at work, either as a manager, either as whatever position we are communicating, like I'm communicating to you now. And I'm so grateful that you are listening, you are tuned in. I'm so grateful, my dear friends. Thank you very much for listening to this interesting subject under letter D. So, for loving communication to happen in our families, to happen in our marriages, to happen in our homes, to happen wherever we are, as we are people who were created to communicate. Number 3 says, bargaining. Bargaining. That's aspect number 4, bargaining. What do I mean by bargaining? In bargaining, I mean one must be prepared to lose a little so that much may be gained. That's what I mean by bargaining. Bargaining is part of loving communication. So what I mean by bargaining, I mean be prepared as a husband, be prepared as a wife, be prepared as a parent to lose a little so that much is gained. Our model there is Jesus Christ again. Through bargaining, Jesus was prepared to lose a little so that humanity may gain much. This is according to Philippians 2, verse 6 and 7. Philippians 2, verse 6 and 7 says Jesus, through bargaining, he had to veil his divinity. He had to empty himself from being God, took upon humanity so that he may fall sick like us, so that he may die like us, so that he may starve like us, so that he may also be stressed like us. When he let go of divinity, his desire was that we as human beings, we may gain much. Hence, what we need to do as human beings, for instance, now we are on lockdown. We are going through this tough experience. May I appeal to parents out there. Parents, please, bargain. Practice bargaining with your children. Please be prepared to lose a little so that your kids may gain much. If there are few pieces of meat, please be prepared not to eat those few, but give them to your kids. If the foodstuff is very limited, be prepared to fast, but make sure members of the family have something to eat. Be prepared. Bargaining is a serious concept where you don't think about yourself, but you think about those that are before you. You first care for them. You first provide for them. You don't think about yourself. You think about them. They come first. You come last. That's bargaining. That's what Jesus did. He thought of us. He never thought of himself. He thought of us. Let us think of those that are around us. Let us think of the coronavirus victims, and let's think about them and try to do something for them. Now, before I go to the last aspect of loving communication, anyone with a comment? Anyone with a question? Anyone with a comment? They are there. Let me go through the comments and let me see whether I can be in a position to respond to one or two that have come through. Can you push them through? Yes. Any comment? Any question? From bargaining, active listening, and the wise talking. Any comment? Anything that needs clarity? Okay. I can see bargaining, a very important point. A very important point. Yes, that's a very important point. I appreciate that. Yes. Active listening. That's part of loving communication and the wise talking. Okay. I think you are following well. I will note the comments as they come. I will note the comments as they come. Okay. I can see there from Tambara. Yes. Yeah. As we are on lockdown, it is my prayer that by the time we go out of lockdown, our spouses, mainly our ladies, will have gained weight because of the bargaining aspects. Yeah, even our children, they should have gained weight because we are prepared to lose a little so that they may gain much. Thank you very much. They must have more than you and give them much and give them that platform, and that's what bargaining is all about. A very interesting aspect in life. I have used this. It's working for me, and I think it will work for you. You may be wondering why you are not clicking well. Maybe as husband and wife, you're not clicking well. As parent, son, parent, daughter, you're not clicking well. Please embrace these loving communication aspects. Wise talking, active listening, and bargaining. Be prepared to lose a little so that much is gained. Do like Jesus. Don't come first, but come last. Don't come first, but come last. Number 4, human divine communication. Human divine communication. A very critical loving communication aspect. A very critical loving communication aspect. We embrace this one, we will go very far. Human divine communication. That's another critical aspect in loving communication. What do I mean by human divine communication? Loving communication can also be explained using human divine communication. There are three avenues to foster or to enhance loving communication with God and your soul. Avenue number one, a private relationship with God. A private relationship with God. It is critical that each one of us, as members of our different families, that we have a private time with God. Private time with God. Where we open our soul to God. Where we empty our soul to God. In that private setup with God, you can even cry. You can even do anything to God. You lay bare your soul. You open up everything to God. Your financial issues, your spiritual issues, your physical issues, any issue, present it to God undisturbed, because it's just you and God. That will make a difference in your life. One author by the name Ellen White says, we should pray in the family circle, but we must not neglect secret prayer. For the secret prayer is the breath of the soul. Let us have time with God. Even during this lockdown, in fact, God deliberately, that we be there and avail ourselves. Let's take time to talk to God as individuals. That's avenue number one, under human divine communication, as we foster a loving communication with our Heavenly Father. Avenue number 2, family altar. Family altar require that we come together as members of the family, either led by daddy, or sometimes led by mommy, or sometimes led by your son at home, led by your daughter at home. We can alternate, but all of us during family altar, one way or the other, we all must be involved. And while we are all involved, let us remember, let us not have a family altar that is internal, that is forever. Let our family altar be brief and interesting. Remember, the lifespan of listening cannot be forever. It must be short, brief, and to the point. So everyone involved as members of the family. The last avenue, church communication. Yes, churches in the form of buildings are closed now. But now we are churching at home. While we are churching at home, we will still go back to the buildings that are closed now because of the pandemic. Let us take church programs serious. let us be there in church. Let us make sure we are there. Attend faithfully all church programs. They are for the benefit of our families, benefit of our marriages, benefit of our spouses, benefit of our business. Let us attend church programs. Let us be faithful. Even Jesus, who is our model, he went to church and he was in church and he stood in church, read, prayed, listened to a pastor, listened to the elder, listened to whoever was preaching on that particular day. Let us love church. Let us go to church. When the situation will go back to normal, let us church. While we look forward to go to church, let us take our family church serious. Private, family altar, let's come together and let us church. And the God will bless us immensely. Now, before I conclude, any comment, any question? Let me check whether there are some comments that have come through or some questions that may require some clarity. Comment, question that will require some clarity. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I can see you are following very well. Thank you very much. The 3 avenues: secret prayer, connecting with God. While we may pray for you within the family altar, remember to pray to God yourself. Remember to take time with God. Jesus took time with God alone. And he also had time with his disciples. That was a family altar. Right, another question or comment that has come through here. I picked one question. How do you deal with the other part that does not put effort into communication? How do you deal with the other part that does not put effort into communication? Communication is a two-way. Communication is not supposed to be solo. Communication is supposed to be a dialogue. Like now, I'm dialoguing with you. That's not a one-way, it's a dialogue. That's why I can see you are responding, you're talking back to me. If you have another part who does not put effort so that you experience loving communication, the initiative, and make use of the 4 aspects that we have shared with you today. The first one said wise talking. Sometimes the other part may not talk back to you because every time you talk, you are very rude. Sometimes. It may not be always. Sometimes you are very rude. Because you have injured my feelings, I just withdraw like a tortoise. I can't talk back. I just withdraw like a tortoise because you have relegated me to Division 1. You have made fun out of me. You have embarrassed me. I just keep quiet. So the best way of involving a spouse, involving your child, involving your mother, involving your brother, or whoever who may not talk back, please check on those 4 whether you are doing well. If you are not doing well in each of those 4, it suggests that you will struggle to involve the other partner. But if you are going to embrace all the 4, you are very careful The type of words that come out of your mouth, you are very careful. You do not just to talk to injure, but you talk to build. You talk to bring hope. You talk to nurture. You talk to edify. You talk to put a smile. Definitely, when you talk to put a smile on someone's face, that person can talk to you back. Sometimes he cannot talk to you through words, but she can talk to you through feelings. Like I said, feelings, they contribute how much? 55%. I have a guest here that I want also to say something on how do you involve another partner. Come through one of my guests. You can see the guest is coming with a smile, and if the guest is coming with a smile, it depends how I've invited the guest. Go ahead, my guest.
Hello, everyone. Yes, it is important to be active in listening as well, in talking nice words. It is very important. And not to give up. When the other party is not welcoming the communication, don't give up. God does not give up on us. Even if we don't read the Bible, He continues to find other avenues to try and unlock also the locked door of talking or communicating. So let's not give up. Let's continually love, try to communicate as much as we can.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well spoken. I couldn't agree with my guest more than that. Well articulated. Thank you very much. We are winding up now. As we are winding up now, we wish you the best. That as we begin a new week, let us embrace loving communication. And as we embrace loving communication, let's loving communication. The four loving aspects of communication will help us to build bridges instead of walls. We desire to be spoken to, and we desire to be listened to. Remember, you have 2 ears. Listen more and speak less with your one mouth. And you will change the way you are communicating in your family. God bless you. I love you. I wish you the best. Be blessed. See you next Sabbath. Same time, same place. Let's talk one-anotherness with Dr. Ndlovu. I want to offer a special prayer to all the viewers out there, all the listeners out there, all the families out there, all the couples out there, all the parents out there, all the children out there. We are locked down, but our God is not locked down. Our God's eyes, remember, are upon us. His ears are open to listen to us. I'm praying for you, my dear friends. My Heavenly Father, we thank you so very much for loving each one of us, for taking care of the couples that are out there, for taking care of the parents that are out there, for taking care of the young people that are out there, for taking care of the grandpas, grandmas that are out there, for taking care of those who are also taking care of those that are challenged by the coronavirus, our health workers, our frontline soldiers. We are praying for them, that you give them strength, you give them power, you give them the patience that they need, the love that as they offer their services. Be with them, God. Stand with them and provide resources in every country, that Heavenly Father, at the end of the day, soon and very soon, the coronavirus is eliminated. And we as human beings, we are delivered and we go back to our normal life. Bless all the couples that are out there. Bless all the single parents that are out there. Bless all the mothers that are out there. Bless all the fathers that are out there. Bless all the students that are out there. Bless all the pastors that are out there. Bless every family. God, you know that some of us financially, we don't even know where our next meal is going to come from. But God, you can provide. You have the means. You have ways, 1,000 ways of speaking to our predicaments. Speak to our predicaments. Speak to our problems. Speak to our misery and bring hope. Thank you so much, Heavenly Father. As we go through this new week, remind each one of us not to speak evil of one another, but to lovely speak nice words and kind words, polite words, and above all, to connect with you as members of the family and also as individuals. This is my prayer. In Jesus Christ I pray. Amen.